Okay, I think I finally figured out what's going on with Fortnite OG, and no, I don't think Geno is behind it. I don't think the Imagined Order is behind it either. In fact, I think the biggest clue is that neither of them seem to have anything to do with what's happening. Geno is currently active on the Chapter 7 island. The Imagined Order has been scattered for years, yet Sloan and Singularity are on our current island. The elites are also mostly built up of ex-IO agent, and the Foundation and the rest of the modern storyline characters are focused on the present timeline, Chapter 7. Then, who is controlling OG? I think the answer is simple: the last reality. And once you start looking at OG through that lens, everything gets weird. Because the biggest reoccurring symbol in OG hasn't been the IO, it hasn't been Geno, it hasn't been the 7. It's been the cube, specifically a red cube. That matters. The original Chapter 1 cube was mysterious, purple. We had no idea what it could do. But this red cube feels different. It feels intentional, almost like Epic wants us to notice that something isn't right. And then there are the cosmetics. Take the Devour, for example, coming in the next OG pass for Season 9. Back in Chapter 1, Caddis had absolutely nothing to do with cube energy. Nothing. He was a giant monster frozen beneath Polar Peak who eventually fought Mecha Team Leader. That's it. But now he's getting a cube-themed style? Why? Why would a character with no connection to the last reality suddenly start showing signs of cube corruption? Unless the timeline itself is changing, unless someone is rewriting history, and that's where this theory gets interesting. I don't think Fortnite OG is a time machine. I don't think we're literally revisiting Chapter 1. I think OG is a reconstruction, a rebuilt version of Chapter 1, and the last reality is slowly corrupting that reconstruction. Think about it. Every season feels familiar, but not exactly the same. Characters are changed, cosmetics are altered, events aren't recreated perfectly. It's like someone is rebuilding Chapter 1 from memory, or worse, from their own version of history. And who is known for invading realities, corrupting worlds, and reshaping them into something new? The last reality. OG doesn't feel like a Geno story, it feels like a cube story, a last reality story, and the red cube might be the biggest clue of all, not because it's invading, but because it's already there, already influencing events, already changing characters, already rewriting history. And here's where I think things could be headed. Back in Chapter 3, when the Herald arrived, several members of the Seven were chromed and seemingly taken by the last reality. We never got a real conclusion to that story. We never saw what happened to them, and what if that wasn't the end? What if the last reality didn't destroy them? What if it corrupted them? If OG really is influenced by the last reality, then I think Season X could finally pay that storyline off. In fact, I believe there's a chance we could see a corrupted scientist in the OG Season X pass. Think about how well that would fit this theory. A member of the Seven who was taken by Chrome, a hero twisted by the last reality, pretty much. A living example of corruption spreading throughout OG. And if a corrupted scientist does appear, it could be our biggest sign yet that the last reality has been behind this entire thing from the beginning. Which leads me to my final conclusion. Fortnite OG isn't Chapter 1. It's a version of Chapter 1 being rebuilt and corrupted by the last reality. Every cube cosmetic, every cube style, every red cube appearance, every small change, they're all signs that the corruption is spreading. And by the time we reach the end of OG, we may discover that we weren't revisiting the past at all. We were watching the last reality create its own version of the past, a version where it wins. But hey, that's just a theory. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think the last reality is secretly controlling Fortnite OG? And do you think the Chrome members of the Seven could return as corrupted versions of themselves? Or is there another explanation? And if you enjoyed this theory, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.